I think the one I enjoyed reading more than anything else.
Royal life may look like a fairy tale from the outside, but behind palace walls, tensions can run dangerously high. Rumors are swirling about a shocking confrontation that allegedly saw Queen Camilla lashing out at Kate Middleton in front of other stunned members of the royal family.
That when she smiles, they light up her whole face. I'll always remember that smile. That smile is unforgettable.
Was it jealousy, power struggles, or something far deeper? This isn't the polished image we're used to seeing from the royals. If true, this moment could reveal cracks in the crown no one saw coming. Let's dive into what really happened. Shall we?
I have to admit, I have to put my hand up. So before lockdown, I wasn't a great lover of the internet.
Drama among the royals. In a moment that might have gone unnoticed by many, an intriguing family interaction unfolded during the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II on September 19, 2022. While the nation mourned and the world watched the final farewell to Britain's longest reigning monarch, a subtle exchange among the royal family sparked curiosity, especially involving Queen Camilla, Princess Charlotte, and her older brother, Prince George. As members of the royal family gathered in quiet reverence for the solemn event, standing behind King Charles III were the young royals, Prince George and Princess Charlotte, poised yet visibly affected by the emotional weight of the occasion. These were moments of national history, but even in such formal settings, children can still be children. According to professional lip reader Jeremy Freeman, an expert in decoding silent conversations from footage, a brief yet surprising incident occurred among the youngest royals. It appears that Prince George, possibly trying to lighten the heavy mood or simply acting like any mischievous older brother, attempted to pinch his sister, Princess Charlotte. She was quick to react, spinning around sharply and crying out in pain with a startled "ow" as she glared at him. Their small scuffle, though fleeting, didn't escape the attention of those nearby, especially not Queen Camilla, who was watching closely. As the children tried to settle down, Meghan Markle, standing near them, seemed to pick up on the little moment and offered a gentle, reassuring smile to Charlotte. Perhaps it was a small act of kindness, a way to soothe the young princess's discomfort. However, it wasn't well received by everyone. Queen Camilla, standing a short distance away, appeared unimpressed by the exchange. Whether it was Charlotte's sudden reaction, Meghan's subtle gesture, or simply the disruption during such a significant moment, something clearly caught her attention. Eyewitnesses and body language experts have noted that Camilla's expression turned stern. She made a quick, decisive gesture toward Princess Charlotte and then leaned over to her daughter-in-law, Catherine, the Princess of Wales. According to Freeman's lip-reading analysis, Camilla whispered firmly but quietly to Princess Kate, "Take her." It was a sharp instruction, brief to the point, and unmistakably authoritative. The message was clear. Charlotte's behavior, however small or understandable for a child, needed to be addressed immediately. The moment passed swiftly, and nothing appeared out of place to the broader audience. Yet, it offers a rare glimpse into the very human dynamics of one of the world's most scrutinized families. Even in times of mourning, the responsibilities of parenting don't stop, and neither do the expectations placed on royal children to behave perfectly in public. This behind-the-scenes moment adds an interesting layer to the often carefully managed public image of the royal family. While the focus that day was rightly on honoring Queen Elizabeth II and her extraordinary life of service, this snippet reveals how real-life tensions, family instincts, and quick decisions play out even under the gaze of the world. What makes this interaction even more fascinating is the blend of formality and familial normalcy. On the one hand, you have royals fulfilling their ceremonial duties at a monumental state event. On the other, you see a young brother and sister being just that, siblings, caught in a split-second tiff, and the adults around them responding in real time. Some have speculated about Camilla's sternness. Was it about preserving decorum, correcting Charlotte's reaction, or maintaining the solemn tone of the ceremony? Was Meghan's smile simply an aunt's kind response to a child in pain, or was it something more nuanced in the complex web of royal relations? Whatever the deeper context, this moment, now dissected by experts and royal watchers, serves as a reminder. Behind the jewels, titles, and protocol, the royal family are still a family. They laugh, frown, scold, comfort, and manage children's mischief just like the rest of us. In the end, Queen Elizabeth II's funeral was a deeply moving day, etched in history. Yet this small, human moment among the grandeur adds a touch of authenticity to the often glossy image of royalty. And in many ways, it's these very glimpses, the whisper, the pinch, the protective parenting, that make the monarchy feel real, relatable, and endlessly intriguing. While this happened long ago, it was said to be little when compared with Camilla's recent attack on Kate. Let's take a quick glance at Kate's transition into the royal family, something Camilla has for long had issues with. From commoner to crown jewel, today, Catherine, Princess of Wales, is widely admired as the graceful, poised, and beloved face of the British royal family. Whether she's attending a state banquet or visiting a local school, she carries herself with quiet dignity and a warm smile that has won hearts across the world. But the path to becoming a royal icon wasn't always smooth for Kate. Behind her polished image lies a journey filled with doubts, quiet perseverance, and a touch of royal drama. A recent documentary titled The Middletons, Modern Royal In-Laws, aired on Channel 5, gives a rare glimpse into the early days of Kate's romance with Prince William. The film reveals that not everyone in the royal circle was initially thrilled about Kate's growing closeness to the future king. In particular, Queen Camilla, then still known as Camilla Parker Bowles, was reportedly unsure about Kate's suitability as a royal bride. Unlike many royal partners in history, Kate didn't come from a noble or aristocratic family. She was raised in a close-knit middle-class household. Her parents were successful business people who built their company, Party Pieces, from the ground up. Though this background made Kate endearing to the general public, it also made her stand out in a world that often values bloodlines over business sense. According to royal expert Tom Quinn, Queen Camilla had some early reservations about Kate, not out of dislike, but out of concern. Camilla herself understood how tough royal life could be, and she wondered whether Kate would truly be able to adjust. There were three particular things that reportedly bothered her: the class difference between Kate and Prince William, Kate's lack of interest in horseback riding, a favorite royal pastime, and the fact that her family didn't have aristocratic roots. In the world of royalty, these seemingly small things can carry big weight. Horseback riding isn't just a hobby, it's practically a royal tradition. And growing up in a home that didn't echo with centuries of noble titles? That raised eyebrows among some traditionalists in the palace. To a few insiders, Kate appeared a bit too normal, too everyday, to fit the mold of a future queen. But here's where things get even more interesting. Queen Camilla herself had once walked a similar path. Back in the 1970s, when she was involved with Prince Charles, many thought she was an unsuitable match. Despite coming from a wealthy family, Camilla didn't have the aristocratic pedigree or storybook princess appeal that Diana Spencer did. She, too, was once seen as an outsider in royal circles. So it's quite ironic, and maybe even a little poetic, that Camilla, who once faced judgment from within the royal establishment,
the British monarch has given her blessing for Prince Charles' wife Camilla to be called Queen Consort,
would later find herself questioning another woman's place in the royal story. But time, as it often does, brought change. Over the years, Kate has more than proven her worth. Her dedication to royal duties, her elegant but approachable manner, and her strong partnership with William have silenced early doubts. She's taken on her responsibilities with grace, never seeking the spotlight for herself, but always shining when she's in it. Even those within the palace who once wondered if she fit in have come to admire her strength, maturity, and consistency. The love story between William and Kate, beginning in their university days at St. Andrews and unfolding over more than 2 decades, is now one of the most admired royal romances of modern times. Through the pressure of paparazzi, the demands of royal life, and the high expectations of the public, Kate has remained steady, supportive, and deeply connected to the people. In the end, Perhaps Kate's story reminds us that what truly matters isn't one's title at birth, but the values one lives by. The royal family, shaped by centuries of tradition, found in her something far more important than noble blood, a woman of character, courage, and quiet power. And in doing so, they gained a future queen who not only honors the past, but helps gently shape a more modern future. Another reason why some believe Camilla dislikes Kate is how she reminds her of Princess Diana. Let's dive into the details of the love triangle that explains Camilla's beef with Diana. The complex love triangle. When Princess Diana first entered the royal spotlight in 1980 as Prince Charles's young and charming new girlfriend, few would have imagined the complicated triangle that would unfold between her, Charles, and his former flame, Camilla Parker Bowles. According to royal biographer Penny Junor in her book The Duchess, Camilla Parker Bowles, and the love affair that rocked the crown, Diana was a regular guest at the countryside home of Camilla and her then-husband, Andrew Parker Bowles. Their estate, Bolehide Manor in Wiltshire, played host to several visits from the fresh-faced Diana, who at the time seemed to get along well with Camilla. In fact, the two women reportedly enjoyed each other's company, with Diana, a former nanny, even lending a helping hand with Camilla's children, Tom and Laura. At the time, there was no public tension. If anything, Camilla appeared to step back from the scene once Diana became Charles's fiancée and later, his wife. Reports suggest she consciously stayed away from events where the new royal couple would appear. But beneath the surface, emotions were beginning to stir. By the mid-1980s, Diana could no longer ignore the feeling that Charles's connection with Camilla had not ended, that it had, in fact, rekindled. The moment Diana decided to act on her suspicions came in 1989. She arrived unexpectedly at a birthday party for Camilla's sister, Annabel Elliot, an event Charles was attending with old friends. Diana didn't go just to mingle. She went to confront. Later recounting the scene to journalist Andrew Morton, Diana described how she approached Camilla and, in a moment of quiet yet searing honesty, expressed what was truly in her heart. When Camilla allegedly asked why Diana wasn't satisfied, after all, she had the public's love and two beautiful children, Diana gave a haunting reply, "I want my husband." After that confrontation, whatever fragile connection the two women had was gone. They mostly kept their distance. Meanwhile, Charles and Camilla's bond continued to grow stronger as Diana and Charles' marriage crumbled. The press buzzed with rumors, but the truth behind palace doors was slowly seeping out. In 1994, Charles gave a shocking interview with journalist Jonathan Dimbleby, openly admitting to adultery. A year later, Diana spoke even more candidly in the now famous Panorama interview with BBC's Martin Bashir, where she uttered the unforgettable line, "Well, there were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." Though Diana and Charles finalized their divorce in 1996, their relationship reportedly grew more civil afterward, particularly for the sake of their sons, Princes William and Harry.
He tried to do my house, Harry Doctor house.
They tried to co-parent amicably and maintain stability for the young boys amid the royal drama. However, despite this improvement between Diana and Charles, her relationship with Camilla remained cold and unresolved. To many, Camilla was the other woman, and Diana's supporters, along with the press, were not quick to forgive. Then came the tragic accident in 1997 that changed everything. Diana's sudden death in a Paris car crash left the world in mourning. For many, she became not just a princess, but a symbol of grace, vulnerability, and compassion. The public's heartbreak deepened the divide between Diana's memory and Camilla's image, making it even harder for the latter to be accepted. In a move of sensitivity to Diana's legacy, Charles and Camilla waited until 2005, nearly 8 years after Diana's death, before marrying. Out of respect, Camilla did not adopt the title of Princess of Wales, which had become so deeply associated with Diana. Since then, Camilla has quietly but steadily carved out her own role within the royal family. She has supported Charles through his duties and has also earned the affection of William and Harry, who are said to respect her as their stepmother, While keeping their mother's memory close to heart, far from being the villain in a royal love story, Camilla has gradually become seen as a dutiful, warm, and respected figure in her own right. The rift between Camilla and Kate was said to have reflected in the power dynamics of the royal family. Let's dig into the reason why Charles and Camilla aren't interested in handing over, despite the situations calling for it. King Charles and Queen Camilla not stepping aside. After decades of waiting in the shadows, King Charles and Queen Camilla are finally at the helm of the British monarchy, and they're determined to make the most of it. For years, the royal couple stood faithfully beside the late Queen Elizabeth II, taking on duties when needed and remaining ever respectful of her reign. Now that their moment has arrived, Charles and Camilla are savoring every bit of it. Though King Charles is fully aware that the crown will eventually rest on the head of his son, Prince William, he sees no reason to rush that moment. As a father, he's proud of William and his growing popularity. But as king, Charles wants time to make his own mark, to be remembered not just as the bridge between two great monarchs, but as a meaningful ruler in his own right. Queen Camilla, for her part, is not just fulfilling royal duties, she's relishing them. According to insiders, she has embraced her role wholeheartedly. She takes her position very seriously, a source revealed. Being queen isn't just a title for her. It's something she's dreamed about and worked toward for years. Now that she finally has it, she's not keen to give it up anytime soon. That dream, however, comes with a bit of palace tension, especially where her daughter-in-law, Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, is concerned. Reports suggest that the relationship between Camilla and Kate has never been particularly warm. While they maintain the necessary public appearances and fulfill their royal duties together, behind closed doors, there's a sense of cool distance. Sources say Queen Camilla isn't entirely comfortable with the idea of gradually handing over key responsibilities to Kate, even though that transition is expected in time. Camilla has always been cautious when it comes to Kate, one royal insider shared. They've never quite clicked on a personal level, and that makes Camilla hesitant to step back and let Kate shine. She's worked hard to establish her place in the royal family and isn't eager to fade into the background just yet. But it's not just the women of the palace who are navigating delicate dynamics. Tensions also simmer between King Charles and his son William. Though the father and son appear to be close and supportive in public, palace insiders say there's a quiet rivalry brewing beneath the surface, especially when it comes to royal duties and public approval. They have a strong bond, but they also have very different styles of leadership, a source explained. There's an unspoken competition between them. It's similar to how Charles once felt during Princess Diana's time, when the public seemed more enamored with her than with him. Despite this, Charles doesn't feel pushed aside. He's proud of William's rising stature and the admiration he receives from the public. However, he is acutely aware of how much the public is looking ahead to William's future kingship. People are already imagining what the monarchy will look like under William and Kate's leadership, and that awareness brings both pride and pressure to the current king. He understands that people are excited about what comes next, the source added. But that doesn't mean he's ready to hand over the reins just yet. The royal stage is always a delicate one, filled with tradition, family ties, and the ever-watchful eye of the public. Behind the elegance and poise, emotions run deep, and ambitions quietly play out. And while the spotlight may one day shift to William and Kate, for now, King Charles and Queen Camilla are enjoying their time on the throne, holding it not just as duty, but as a long-awaited reward. Kate was once caught sending a silent message to Camilla. Perhaps it contributed to Camilla's rage at her. What did she do? Where? And when? Let's find out. Royal rifts at the coronation, Kate's silent message to Queen Camilla. It was meant to be a grand and unifying moment in British history, the coronation of King Charles III on May 6th at Westminster Abbey, a day that brought together over 2,000 guests from across the world to witness the crowning of a new monarch. But beneath the glittering surface of this historic event, royal watchers believe that not everything was as harmonious as it seemed. A moment caught on camera, seemingly small, has sparked waves of speculation. As King Charles and Queen Camilla made their way out of the abbey after the crowning ceremony, one detail stood out to eagle-eyed observers. Guests and members of the royal family bowed and curtsied to the king. Not a single person appeared to do the same for Queen Camilla. Among those who did not curtsy, most notably, was the Princess of Wales, Catherine. Royal expert and author Tom Bower suggested that this omission might not have been accidental. Speaking on Dan Wooten Tonight, before the show was taken off air, Bower claimed the lack of curtsy from Kate was a clear signal of tension within the royal family, a silent protest perhaps. If you watch the footage, Bower explained, you'll see the king and queen leaving their thrones. As they pass the congregation, everyone acknowledges the king. Heads bow, bodies move. But when Camilla walks past, nothing. Not a nod, not a gesture, not even a twitch. Nobody moved a muscle, and that says a lot. According to Bower, the absence of the curtsy wasn't just a coincidence. It reflected deep-rooted frustration and possibly even resentment. People were angry, he continued. There was a wave of silent disapproval that spread through that part of the abbey. Even William and Kate, who are usually so composed, seemed visibly cold. And for those close enough to see, it was clear Kate didn't curtsy to Camilla. But what could be behind this royal chill? The issue, it seems, may go beyond just protocol. During the same interview, Bower revealed that Queen Camilla had invited a large number of her own relatives, reportedly 20 members of the Parker Bowles family, to attend the coronation. In comparison, only 4 members of the Middleton family, Kate's side, were invited. The stark difference, especially at such a momentous occasion, raised eyebrows. Imagine the message that it sends, Bower commented. It's the crowning of a new king and queen, a once-in-a-generation event, and the future queen's family is barely represented, while Camilla's side fills the seats. That didn't sit well with Kate or William. Adding to the sense of strain, Bower pointed out another telling moment. The day after the coronation, at the celebratory Windsor Castle concert, Prince William made a speech, yet didn't mention Queen Camilla once. That silence spoke volumes, Bower said. It wasn't just an oversight, it was deliberate. On the day of the coronation itself, Prince William and Princess Kate sat in the front row of Westminster Abbey, accompanied by their younger children, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. Their eldest son, 9-year-old Prince George, had an important role as one of the 4 pages of honor for King Charles. Interestingly, Camilla's grandsons, Freddie, Louis, and Gus, also served as pages, along with her great-nephew, Arthur Elliot. The symbolism was clear. Both women had their descendants by their side, playing major roles in the ceremony. Yet the emotional tone between them told a different story, one not captured in official photographs but hinted at through small gestures, silent expressions, and public appearances. As royal insiders and commentators continue to unpack what really happened on that momentous day, one thing seems certain. Behind the crowns and ceremonies, the royal family remains a deeply human institution, with all the emotions, loyalties, and tensions that come with it. What do you think about the rift between Queen Camilla and Princess Kate? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.